I was in a lecture recently where the guy on the stage said that we should no longer call them emerging markets because they did. We should call them growth markets because we don't. So you want to write that down, right? Basically, the risk clearly in having an Indonesia, there's emerging markets as frontier. So frontier might be Bolivia, it might be Nigeria, it may be, believe it or not, frontier the other day was described to me as Saudi Arabia. Who knew? But the idea being that emerging markets, you think of Brazil, Russia, India, China, the BRIC countries, countries that are kind of really coming up and becoming a forefront. It was interesting, the other day I heard that there's one family that produces all the shoe insoles in the world. And they're from India, okay? And they showed the hotspots of where they're shipping shoe insoles. That's where you want to invest. Because literally that's where people are going to be growing consumers enough that they're going to want to buy more shoes. And when you look at the hotspots on the world map, it's frontier. It's the east coast of Africa. It's central South America. It's Mexico. It's places that they're the growing consumers where Americans don't consume as much anymore, but those countries are coming from a very low base so they can grow pretty quickly. And they're going to want shoes. That's a symbol, you think about it, that's a symbol of, success in the world that you can actually have shoes, maybe a couple, 3 pair. And that's a pretty basic level of consumerism, but let's face it, that's the start. So the whole frontier market is a very different world than emerging. But we talk about risk all the time with my clients because risk is not a dirty word. You just have to know how much you want to take. Okay? And that's the important part, is knowing how much you can handle and taking only that. I have clients that are very, very risk conscious and love it, and I have clients that are very risk averse. I just want to find that sweet spot for them so I'm meeting their expectations and their comfort zone, okay? But emerging markets, you can have currencies flipping around. The US dollar is so strong right now. What's that doing, okay? You can have political risks. One of the things I learned the other day is that a lot of emerging markets, let's just take Vietnam. Vietnam has many publicly traded companies. They're very small, but they're either, the publicly traded companies behind the curtain are either government owned or the president of Vietnam's son owns the biggest electric company, and his daughter owns the biggest bank. So my question is, do you want to own those companies? So you can't just say, let's buy an index fund to own the emerging markets. Because a lot of it's banks that may be Swiss banks for all you know.